Deze podcast is powered by ACC ICT, de nummer 1 Kubernetes specialist van Nederland. Welkom bij een nieuwe aflevering van de Nederlandse Kubernetes podcast. De podcast over Kubernetes voor echt iedereen.
Zo, echt iedereen, Ronald?
Ja, hallo Jan.
Hallo Ronald.
Hoi.
Hey, ik sta gewoon te kijken hier naar. We zitten in een glazen container op DevOps. Ze zijn gewoon foto's van onze banner aan het maken. Dat is echt wel...
we zijn
fans? We hebben echt fans.
Kan ook niet anders, toch?
Kan ook niet anders, nee.
Nee, met die mooie glimlach van jou, dat...
Ja, het is wel heel leuk om te zien overigens. Dat ze foto's van onze banners aan het maken zijn.
Ja.
En ze verstaan ons niet, omdat we nu om Nederlands praten. Maar now we switch to English. And they will understand us. But yeah, can you introduce our guest, Ronald?
Of course I will introduce our guest. That is Daniel Antonio Fernandez Bojczuk. Welcome, Daniel.
Hey, thank you very much for having me here.
Yeah, and we already made the joke, but I will make the joke again.
Oh, yo.
He is a cloud engineer at Jumbo. So the previous guest had a long function name. Yeah?
Yeah. But do you know Jumbo?
This time is the other way around. Thank you for destroying the joke this time for the listeners. Now we have the fun again here.
That was on purpose.
Yeah. So I cannot make the other joke. Jumbo, I never go to the Jumbo. If you know the commercial from TV. So, anyhow, welcome Daniel again.
Thank you very much.
Can you please introduce yourself to the listeners?
Sure. So, my name is Daniel. I work here in the Netherlands for about 3 years. I'm from Brazil. I moved from with my family, 2 kids actually, and they are already speaking Dutch. So you can imagine that now they're starting fighting Dutch.
Oh yeah?
Yes, because now their main language is... Their main language is Dutch now, almost.
How old are they?
11 and 8. So in 3 years, they're already switching to Dutch. And now I don't know how to stop a fight in Dutch. So, ik ben Nederlands leren.
That's great, but if you probably correct them in Brazilian,
yes,
they know it's serious.
Yes, exactly.
That's the plus side of that one.
But still, there are some layers on that that I need to deal with. But yeah, this is from personal side. But from professional side, I have 20 years more or less of career. I started as a software engineer. Names and roles changed from company to company. But let's say that I'm a developer, software engineer. And currently, I'm working at Jumbo as a cloud engineer, working in the platform team or in the platform domain that helps the developers to do their job.
Okay.
That's mostly this.
Yeah, and how did you get started in the IT? What drove you to this?
Well, actually, it was during the university because I started doing physics in university, and then I started internship. And this internship, I was involved with programming language. Then I could never more went up. So I just changed career totally. Did a totally different course, and then I started working in Brazil. And then I went to a big company, the biggest bank in Brazil, Itaú, and spent my whole career there in Brazil. Went from junior to staff engineer, whatever the names are. And then, yes, I just got the cloud movement because we need to migrate to cloud, right? Everyone needs to migrate to cloud. And then I hit the cloud, and then I never went out.
Nice. It's not the first time we hear that people from physics make the switch to engineering.
Yes.
IT.
Yes, because when you do physics, you do a lot of mathematics and etc. But you have, at least in the beginning, there's some basic programming language because you need to do some programming in physics. But then the thing is that I learned so fast, and I liked it a lot, and I got an internship in the university with programming. Then I switched. I said, okay, it's more my friend. Yeah. Because math is good, but there's some time that math is too much.
Too much. Yeah. I can understand. Yeah. So you have a talk here at you have a question?
I've got a question for the talk. So, I know Jumbo.
Yeah.
But what is Jumbo doing with Kubernetes?
Yes, good question. Yumbo,
Do you know Jumbo? By the way, sorry.
Yeah?
Do you know Jumbo?
Yeah, you already asked that one.
Yeah, and you
Just
never
like
asked
not
me.
even 5 minutes ago.
you didn't answer me.
I know you're older than me, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know Jumbo, of
Oh.
course. Everybody knows the yellow with the white letters.
Okay, yeah, just checking. But what does Jumbo with Kubernetes?
Yeah, so Yumbo actually has a very good platform to serve our microservices. So you have a website, and you can actually do groceries on the website. That's really nice, and you have it delivered at your home in a really good pace. And actually, the services run on Kubernetes. So that's why we use Kubernetes there.
And is it big?
I think it's not too big because
Oh, what is not too big?
yeah. So that's the point. I'm not actually the Kubernetes guy because that's not my specialty, but we have some clusters in there. We have some clusters, not too many,
Okay.
2 or 3 clusters to accommodate all pods and etc. and deployments.
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
Back to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I can. Okay. So you have a talk here at DevWorld.
Yeah.
DevOps, why do we keep messing up?
Yes.
Interesting topic and draws a lot of attention, I think.
Yes. It's a kind of bait. It's a
Yeah.
kind of bait, a clickbait for presentations.
Okay, take us with you.
Okay, so the thing is, when we practice DevOps, people usually get lost, and they don't know it.
What is, in your opinion, DevOps?
Yes, that's the point of the whole presentation. But you asked the right question. This is the right question. What is DevOps?
And we're done.
No, but the thing is, I have even other question. That what? But why DevOps? Why do you or why we, the companies, implement DevOps? And this is the thing. So I got my presentation in 3 main parts. I bring 3 real cases that I try to explain how we mess with DevOps. And the first one is actually we forgot the why of DevOps. So for the presentation, DevOps is difficult to have a definition. But I found in the AWS website what's DevOps, and they have a good one.
Oh yeah,
they have a really good one. So I don't remember by heart. My memory is really bad. But they say something like this: DevOps are cultural philosophy, practices, and tools that makes you to deliver software in a fast pace, to help you best serve your clients and compete in the market. So now, if you forget the why, and if you don't know the why, you do things wrong. What do you think is the why of DevOps, considering this definition? Sorry, can I make questions? Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
developers and operations work better together, so they don't throw it over the fence philosophy.
yes, that's my point. For me, that's not the why. That's how you do it. You do it like making collaboration.
I feel a golden circle coming up here.
Exactly. I put the golden circle. I start with this topic with the golden circle. The why of DevOps is actually to serve serve better your clients and be competitive in the market.
Yeah.
This is the why of DevOps.
Okay.
If you do something that's not related to that, you are messing up. If I give an example, I create an analogy, right? I have 2 kids. Now they are old, but they were babies. And when they start crawling, we are so happy. Oh, my kids is developing. But then they find the electric sockets. And when they find that, they do whatever they can to put the finger there or to stuck things in there, right? And they can injure themselves. So what can we do? In my presentation, the first thing I say is that we can put handcuffs on the kids. It will avoid to then hurt themselves.
Great
Yes?
solution.
It's the resolution. It will avoid. But it will mess with their development. They won't develop. They won't crawl. They won't walk. So you will
They won't be curious.
They won't be curious. So you bring it to DevOps. So you kill innovation. You kill productivity. So yes, you are solving that, but that's not the why. The why is that I want my kid to develop safe. And then you just buy the protectors for the electric sockets and put in there. So this is the thing. So the first thing that I mentioned in the presentation is that we forget the why. And then we start doing a lot of stuff that bring consequences, and then you deal with consequences, and then you screw and mess up.
The question, why do they want to put the finger in the...
Because they need to develop themselves. They need to discover. They need to experiment. And if I don't allow them to experiment...
I know.
Because
I have 2 kids too.
Yes, exactly. So that's because the real case scenarios are all based on my experience. And this is because one day, one developer came to me, a DevOps engineer came to me after a presentation and said, Daniel, I will never allow the developers to do that. I was talking about AWS CDK and how you can use it to do better infrastructure as a code. I will never allow. They need to use my tools because otherwise, no, you are killing everything. You are killing productivity. You are killing the thing. So I'm speaking too much, but if you go to the platform strategy book, there's a good analogy. Actually, when you build a platform, you actually create a freeway to your developer. But what happens if you miss an exit in a freeway? You have 20, 30, 50 minutes to take it all over again and go there. What happens if you need just to go to the other side? I'm here and they just need to go to the other side. Man, it's a nightmare. You need to do so. If it's mandatory, you kill everything. So this is actually my first important point of why we keep messing with DevOps.
Oh, right. So what's your opinion on people putting DevOps expert or professional in their profile names as a function? Because it's a philosophy and not a function.
Now you are going to a really controversial topic here, but I like it. I like it a lot. I'm against. I'm really against. In the previous companies I worked at, I fighted a lot to remove the DevOps engineer role. Because what is a DevOps engineer? We are software engineers that our first client are the developers or are the infrastructure side. So DevOps, as I said, it's a combination of stuff. So it starts with culture, then go to process, and only then go to tooling. And sometimes you get also DevOps engineer takes care of CI/CD. CI/CD it's a tool, or so you need to have the why. So that's why I don't put I'm DevOps engineer. I put cloud engineer, but actually I'm a software engineer that works to serve the developers, so the developers can serve our customers.
So it's going to be soft engineer. That's not sexy.
Yes, that's not sexy, exactly.
Yeah,
but why we need to be sexy at least all the time?
Yeah, but otherwise it's full stack engineer, that kind of stuff.
That's stupid. Full stack, no. But yeah, okay.
So if you look at the golden circle, you have the why, the how, the what. So you also have what are side effects, of messing things up,
Yeah. So the first thing is that I already told you kill productivity, you kill innovation. So if you forget the why, you do everything. And the other side effect is that you start building the wrong tools. Why? Because of course you forget the why. But another thing from the presentation is that I asked the audience, what is a problem? So one of the definitions of what is a problem is it's a gap between the current state and the desired state. I gave an example. I'm hungry. But if my desire is keep hungry, I don't have a problem. Because I'm here, I'm enjoying my time recording this podcast. If I'm hungry, it's not a problem. But if I'm hungry and my desire is to stop being hungry, then I have a problem. So this is the definition of a problem. So if you don't know your current state and you don't know what you want to get, how you can tackle a problem if you don't know if you have a problem? So if you forget the why, you don't check what's your problem.
No, I'm not agreeing with that, because I could be not. I could have have hunger, but don't eat, and then die.
Yes, but then
That's a problem.
That's a problem because you want to keep alive. So your current state's alive, and you want to keep alive. So you need to treat.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So if your current state, and if you're gonna get dead, then you have a gap. Then that's a problem.
Yeah.
Adjust your TTL. Sorry, that's an insider joke.
Stupid DNS.
So if you don't know your problem, you start building horrible tools. Also, from the platform strategy book, it's a nice book actually. They keep continuous with the freeway. So you think that you are building a freeway, but actually you are building off-road with a lot of stones and mud. Your developers need to use your tool because it's good, not because it's mandatory, and needs to solve the problem. If you don't know the problem, how are you going to build the correct tool?
Right.
Kost het beheer van Kubernetes je veel tijd en expertise? Maak kennis met ACC ICT. Zij ontzorgen je volledig met managed Kubernetes diensten op elke cloud. Gecertificeerde specialisten zorgen voor compleet beheer, 24/7 support en optimale beveiliging. Jij kunt je focussen op je core business, terwijl je Kubernetes-omgeving in betrouwbare handen is. Manage Kubernetes van ACC ICT. Jouw zorg, onze expertise. Bezoek accict.com.
No DevOpser.
No, platform.
No, go on. Sorry.
No, so that's the new sexy word.
Yes, platform engineer. That's
the buzzword you keep popping up this time.
Yeah, but I think this is better. I think at least this is better than DevOps because platform, it's kind of clear what it is. Platform is something that you use, that you build, and the other one's gonna use. So this is actually, I think it's better platform. But again, if you don't know what are the problem, which platform are you gonna build? So if your developer suffers because of CI/CD, why are you investing, in testing? Or why are you investing in infrastructure as a code? So there are really a lot of stuff that you can do with a platform. But you need to tackle your problem.
But sometimes you don't know what the problem is and you still have a problem.
Yes, and that's the point. You don't know what the problem is because you don't know the current state and you don't know the desired state. If you have metrics, if you have collaboration, if you ask for feedback. So that's all the point. We think that we can do DevOps sitting in our computer without talking to anyone. No, DevOps foster collaboration. It needs collaboration. So talk to the teams. Otherwise, this is another example I like to use. Do you know that you mentioned that sysadmins and developers separate by wall, they throw the code? Mm-hmm. That DevOps now are building the wall. Otherwise, we're going to build that wall. So we need to talk to people.
Don't mention build the wall because that's...
Yeah, okay, sorry. but we need to collaborate. So first, get metrics, where you are. Second, get feedback, where you are. And then, okay, what's my desired state? To serve my customers better and be competitive in the market. Then, if there is a gap and where the gap is, you're going to solve it. But if you don't speak with developers or whatever roles are, then you'll never solve the problems.
Are you stating then also, this is best well, it's a controversial topic, working at home and working in the office?
Yes.
Do you think working at home provides you with more collaboration and talking to the team, or working in the office more collaboration and working to the team?
I like this analogy, right? Because it's very actual at the moment. Building the wall, working home, working at the office.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into a political podcast now.
No.
But still, I can hear the things.
Your opinion about that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
It's a long day and I...
No, but you know what? I like to work from home. I think I work well from home, but I like to be the office as well. So, but I don't like to be the office alone. I don't go to the office because I need to go to the office. I go to the office because other people are there, and then I will have something useful to do there. So being together is good. There are some meetings. In Brazil, I also worked with almost a Scrum Master, team lead, whatever what we want to call. There are some meetings that together, for collaboration, there's no way to compare with at home. No way. Because I'm looking to your face, I'm feeling what you think, or we are just writing together in the same board, and I just can get mad if you get a pen off your hand and you are doing bullshit, and then so we integrate better. But this is part of our work. There are some times that I just need to fill a spreadsheet, I just need to make a PowerPoint, or I just need to make some scripting. Then,
of course, but there are situations that you said that people are in the office. But I've got colleagues they are in the office on Monday. Other colleagues are on Tuesday. Other colleagues are on Wednesday, and I've got colleagues I don't see.
So, my opinion. So there's no why to go to the office. Office is a space. It's good. Office is good, except from this part of collaboration. Also for micromanagement that we don't like and don't want. So that's the only thing. So
but in my opinion, that's your opinion also.
Yes,
you said,
yes.
Working together is viewing together, is sitting here. But in my opinion, that's why we do a podcast together and not in Zoom. And we do that also, but I think the dynamic is better.
Yeah, you can feel the room, you know?
You can feel the room. Exactly. And that, I also think, and that's my opinion, by the way, but it's not... just if you work together in a team and you sit beside each other, it's much better. And I also think you can work alone on a spreadsheet, and that's awesome. Do it at home.
Yes, exactly.
But nowadays, I see people working the whole time alone.
No, then I think there's a problem.
So we've got a problem. It's not a desired state.
He was setting you up for this.
Oh my God. No, but the desired state is collaboration.
Yeah.
The desired state is collaboration. If people are at your
No,
home,
my desired state is not collaboration. It's getting the best product. And the way to get that is collaboration.
Exactly. You got exactly the point. Yes.
So
I'm not the why.
Yeah.
Again.
So then we have the final question, right?
So we've got a final question.
Yeah. Daniel.
Uh-oh.
Should I be scared?
Yeah, very scared. No. I know you're not a big Kubernetes guy, as you told us, but if I put a crystal ball here on the table, what would you like to see in the Kubernetes landscape?
Or in the future of DevOps.
DevOps.
I have some, not controversial, but I have some doubts about our container orchestration itself.
Cool. Oh, nice. This is a new one.
No, that's because it's totally my feeling, okay? And I might be really bold now because I'm talking this in a Kubernetes podcast, but I think there are a lot of use cases that Kubernetes is not the best option.
Cool. And
but
I agree.
Still, I see people using Kubernetes because of the hype or because the community use, because it's well supported, but might not be the best tool.
Do you have an example?
Yes. So I saw people that have 2 or 3 containers running to do scheduled events on Kubernetes. I could use serverless, I could use other stuff. But since everyone is using Kubernetes, we had the Kubernetes clusters, and then there are side effects. Because the platform team of that company decides to use Carpenter. And Carpenter starts killing the pods during the batch processing. Because in theory, you can do that with Kubernetes. Kill the pod and put the pod again. So
they're missing PDB then, by the way. But
I don't know this part of the. But that's it. We had the company had a cluster. They just so we had the cluster. I know Java, the Java Docker container. Let's put there because it's just there and everyone supported the hype. So what I would like to see also for DevOps or Kubernetes or whatever it is that people choose wisely based on real requirements in data. For DevOps as well, where, how, and what to get from DevOps. For Kubernetes, for serverless, for whatever it is. I see a lot of landing stuff between different architectures and between different stuff. So that, I don't know if I answered your question.
No. It's
I'm thinking about the problem then.
Oh my God. I set a trap for myself.
Yeah, again. Oh yeah.
Want to run? We locked the door.
No, yeah, that's awesome. It's
yes. That's
just a small segue. Do you think then that we use more cloud-based technologies? Because serverless is also running in Kubernetes, by the way.
Yes.
But it's
behind the scenes only.
Behind the scenes,
yeah.
It's more cloud-based.
I think we should choose the best tool. And then, because we also have the problem that I don't think it's really a problem, but we need to bring to the table. That's the lock-in. Kubernetes kind of free you at least with the lock-in with the vendors.
Yep.
Right? You can just move clusters. I know that's not like this, but from one side to the other side. Because it's open source, it's well supported, well done. Google has, AWS has. You can have your own clusters at home if you want. So Kubernetes kind of do a really good job on that. But to serve the client, you might need or might want a little bit of lock-in. So I don't mind to use. I like AWS serverless, Lambda serverless. I don't mind to have a little bit of lock-in to have a better product in the end. So that's the balance that we need to find.
Then, talking about the problem and solution, you need to make it an active choice.
Yes.
It's not we on AWS and
yes.
You need to choose then that you're gonna do this with the problem that you're facing a vendor lock-in.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's always really important. But
yes. But because if you go to cloud-based solutions, you're mostly gonna choose a cloud service. Then you get a lock-in. So you can go for Azure Functions. People say serverless. That's a magic. I'm already changing topic. Sorry.
Is it still? You don't hear it as much.
No. A lot of people are using now Kubernetes for that. It's and still Kubernetes is getting simpler. And your solution for your problem at that moment was a pod disruption budget, but it's But I still agree. Small things on a big Kubernetes cluster.
Yes.
It's not viable. It's not. Why do you use Kubernetes then? But it could be if you want to have a continuous delivery, no downtime, and then you've got your problem solved with your Kubernetes. But yeah.
Anyway. Not to take more of your time. I think we can go on for longer, but maybe save that for part 2.
Yes, I would love it if you invite me again.
Well, let's make that happen for the next time. Daniel, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, see you later.
See you, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Deze podcast is een initiatief van ACC ICT en wij zijn te beluisteren op onze website k8spodcast.nl via Spotify, Apple en alle andere favoriete podcastproviders.